Hello everybody and welcome again to Timwe Presents, and today we're looking at a KTANE Puzzle Plethora puzzle called Deep Sleep by Thing. And this is what the page looks like, or rather the top of the page, because if I scroll down, this page is clearly quite extensive. So we're gonna go through this and see what we can make out. So here is of course our answer code as always, which we're going to use to check our answer later. But no, let's take a look. My eyes are quickly dashing between all these Z's. You could say they're rapidly moving. Okay, so two things I noticed. First of all, dashing sounds like, dots and dashes in Morse code. And the other one, if your eyes are rapidly moving, that's rapid eye movement, or REM. So let's quickly take a look at anything that has REM in the name. I'm not quite sure why the stare would come up if I type REM. Oh, I see. It's because it's the stare module, Lion's Share module, Mystic Square module. They all have module in the module ID. Alright, so it's probably none of these. Okay. What can I make out here? So this here looks like a sentence where every letter has been replaced by Z's, but all the spaces, the full stop, and the apostrophe here are still intact. So I'm going to take this, replace, well actually I'm going to just take only the first sentence, replace all of the Z's with any letter from A to Z in the selection, and now I have a regular expression that I can use to search through all of the KTANE manuals. So I'm quickly going to do that, find this in all of the HTML files. Oops, I should probably turn on regular expression. And hopefully this will find me something. I remember in the KTANE puzzle hunt by Elias, there was a puzzle where flavor texts were encoded with some kind of Caesar cipher, some kind of letter shifting. And it was very easy to find them just by using a regular expression like this one, which looks for all the spaces in the right places between the letters. Alright, so this one didn't find anything, so it's not from a KTANE manual. Alright, in that case, let's close this. Let me just make absolutely sure that I did this right. I was looking through all HTML files, it's a regular expression, I did not have match case on, so. Alright, let's take a look at the HTML source. Yeah, that one literally just says it. So that means, so one thing I only just noticed, did not notice before, is that these blue Z's are probably headers that head a section, and then this part here is the first section, and then you have another section. Okay, ooh, there's something here that isn't Z's. Let me zoom in and see what that looks like. It says, well, it seems SHW, but the rest, II something FT. This is. It doesn't seem to form an English word, I don't think. Shifty. Oh, shifty. See, if I ignore this. There's multiple letters even. If I ignore that, yeah, I think this is supposed to say shifty. Okay. Let's take a look at shifty maze then. Right. Shifted maze or shifting maze. Ooh, both of those are possible. Let's see which one of them. Shifting maze doesn't have an actual maze on the module. It has this sort of seed code, and that doesn't seem relevant. We have a field of colors, so I'm gonna go with shifted maze. Let's see, how big is this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20 by 20. I'm looking at these colors and I'm trying to figure out if I can deduce anything there. Maybe I should use the color channel, the same as abstract art, which was used also in the Hustlers. Anyway, let's take a look. Let's just So we use curves to, so let's take RGB curves. So for example, if I take the green and the blue out, I will get just the red. And this is what just the red looks like. Okay, let's reset that. If I take red and blue out, this is what the green looks. Ooh, are these bamboozle glyphs, maybe? Right, let's take a look at this. Okay, I think these are boozled glyphs. Okay, let's take a look at boozled glyph identification. This one has a table. Okay, so which one of these looks like that? There's one here. This one looks kind of similar, but it's not that. It's more pointy than that. Okay, as far as I can tell, the other two columns don't seem to contain the same one, so I'm gonna say that's a Y. So I'm gonna say in section, which one is this? This is section 3. Blue is Y, and then of course we still need to know what the red and the green ones are. So let's go back to, right, reset this, remove everything but red, so we get red. And we're looking for this one, that's a K. Ooh, is it gonna spell out the word key? I call it now, I think it's key. But let's verify that. Indeed, that is an E. Alright, key. So I'm gonna say section 3, the answer is probably key. Right. A little success here, first, right, okay, so here, ooh, what is this? In the first column, some of the Z's are lowercase. In the second column, there's one that has an acute accent. And then in this last one, we have something dot something something something. Okay, the only thing that immediately comes to mind is Morse code, like the vanilla Morse code. Right, it has these frequencies, and they're always a number, then a dot, and then 3 numbers. But something tells me, because obviously some of them are red, it seems to suggest that we have to extract something, and I'm not quite sure if we should be extracting digits. Right, let's see if I can use the regular expression trick to find something in any KTANE manual that fits this. Alright, so let's change all of the Z's to A to Z in the selection, like this, and then copy that and find any occurrence of that as a regular expression in all of the HTML manuals. And while that is loading, let's take a look at the rest. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, the ones in the corners are bolded. I think this is poetry, and that seems to fit with the number of letters. Okay, poetry. Let's go to poetry. We have Melanie. Yep, that seems to fit. Okay, so this is section 5. So for section 5, and yeah, I can see those search results on the bottom, but I'm gonna look at that later. Let's collapse those for now. Also, it seems that some of them are translated manual, so ooh, that's actually quite a lot of hits here. So I actually don't think, yeah, I don't think we'll be able to find anything useful there. There's just too many hits. You know, actually, now I think, what could this actually stand for, given that these are boozled glyphs? It's abstract doesn't fit. You see, I was thinking maybe it's abstract glyph or something. Shifty, this is okay. Well, anyway, we were here, so let's take a look at poetry and take a look at the first highlighted Z. That's a T in fatigue, and then the next one would be the R in reflections, and then we have this one here. The third letter of that is in India. Yep, that seems to spell out a word. Then we want an F. Trifoil. Let's see, the second letter here, yeah, is an O. And then we want the third last letter here. That would be a triforce. Triforce. Yeah, that's a C from cookies, and then here we have an E in patience. Okay, triforce. Okay, and I'm going to just for the sake of it write down what module this is, or rather what the Z's in the title stand for, because I don't know if that'll be useful, But let's go back to the poetry module. Will you write your way into her heart? Will you write your way into her heart? That should have that is clearly the flavor text. So let me go back to the start here and figure out. Actually, I'm going to try and see if my method would have found this one without the question mark. So change all the z's to A to Z in the selection like this, and then mark all of this, and find me that as a regular expression in all of the HTML files. Now this should find poetry, at least. I mean, it could find other false positives, obviously, but at the one reason it might not find okay. One reason it might not find it is because I specifically said spaces only. But it's possible for the HTML source code to have either multiple spaces or even a new line in between the words. I mean, in this case, it's kind of doubtful that that would be the case because it's a relatively short sentence that you would expect that to be on the first line. But let's try it regardless. So this is what we want, and now we want to change all of the spaces to this. Okay, so any number of white space characters which includes tabs and new lines. Okay, let's put those in there. So that's what that looks like now. And now we search all of the HTML files as regular expressions and see if that finds us anything. Come on, I'm sure you can find it. Let's go, come on. Didn't find anything. So maybe that one's not a flavor text, or maybe there is a mistake in the puzzle. That's always possible. So I'm going to try this, and I'm going to intentionally include the comma. Well, actually, no. I'm going to try without the comma, and then we'll see in the search results if it contains a comma. Let's replace all of the z's and replace all of the spaces, like that, and then select all of this, and find me any HTML file that contains that. Interesting that it always takes so long at rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. I'm not quite sure why that would be. Okay. There are 10 types of so digits are also replaced by z's, and that's why it didn't find it. Okay, so we're looking for binary puzzle. I should have known that, because obviously there's a 6x6, and but then again, I don't actually know. Hang on, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there are 5 bits. Yeah, there are 5 bits in each grid. I mean 5 highlights. So I'm going to assume that the uppercase, lowercase z's are the zeros and ones, and the highlighted cells are the extractions that we want. So I guess we're going to be solving binary puzzles today. Copy that, and right, I guess we can close this now because we solved that part. Okay, and I'm going to find myself a nice sort of reddish color. There we go. And I'm going to mark all the capital Z's. I should probably reduce the tolerance so that it doesn't accidentally overflow the boxes. So all the capital letter Z's get red. So I need to remember, it just occurred to me actually that it would be more sensible for the capital Z to be the 1, or the green. So I'm going to have to remember at the end that I may have to flip all of the bits, all of the extracted bits. Let's see, that one's also a capital, that one's also a capital. Alright, and then starting from here, we're going to go green. Let's see, I don't want this sort of super screeching green, I want a sort of reasonable green. Okay, that looks reasonable. I'm also going to zoom in a bit, just so that it's easier to click in these tight spaces. Alright, let's go. Z, 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 Z. This is fun. Well, it's fun so far. But let's see how much fun the binary puzzles are going to be. Although I have a strong suspicion that these are probably going to be fun, because I know the puzzle constructor, and she would probably playtest this properly. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of the blue. I'm going to do the extraction later. In fact, here's something I can do. I can do this, I can put them all on a separate layer. There we go. And then I can just hide that layer. There you go. And then here, I'm going to ignore, actually, you know what, I'm just gonna put white underneath. There you go. Okay, so now we get to the actual solving. Here we go. Alright, red, fill, that. Right, this is not what I expected. Oh yeah, of course, it's because I still have that global fill mode. Alright, there we go. We're up and running. Alright, 3 spaces here. That must be green. In fact, that entire row must be green. Let's see. No. Okay. Quick think. Okay, I'm kind of stuck, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this here can't be green, because that would put 3 reds in a row. The same is true here. This can't be green, so that must be red. And now we have 2 reds here, so, if we were to make this red, then we'd have 2 greens in a row, so these have to be green, these have to be green. And then in between the greens, you have to have reds. In between the reds, you have to have greens. There's one more here, there's another one here, and again, this can't be red. Okay, that column is finished. Now let's see. The 3rd and the 4th row are threatening to be equal. That means I'm going to have to step in when the time comes. Okay, so here, look at this, the 2nd column and the 5th column. You see, if I were to put green here, then they would be equal. Therefore, that has to be red. Okay, so, what else? Let's see, what other rows and columns could be identical? Right, the columns seem to be fairly unique now. Bingo! You see, if I make this one green, then that row would be the same as that row. Therefore, that has to be red. And that has to be followed by a green, and that puts that here. And it puts that here, so now... okay, I didn't even need the equality of those rows to solve that. Okay, well anyway, we've done the second puzzle. Now let me take a quick think about this first one. I can't really see where to make progress on this one. I'm sure there's a clever trick, but maybe I can do it with trial and error later. So let's move on to this one here. So we have green between the reds and red between the greens, and then greens on both sides of the red. Ooh, look at this. This grows in all directions. And we have a completed column already. Right. Let's see. If I were to... there we go. There's a red between the greens. Okay. Once again, I seem to be stuck. So this time I'm going to take a guess. Okay, so I've saved this file. So now I'm going to guess. Oh, look at this. I can actually finish this row. There you go. Not that it helps much. Oh, this here can't be red because that would be 3 greens in a row. So that's green. Maybe now it is time for a guess. It's hard to tell. Ooh, look at this. This row, this column, and this column is threatening to be the same. So we have to put them in like this, and that puts a red between these and here. I'm now thinking that this puzzle probably doesn't require guessing, which is really good because one of the puzzles I made for the KTANE Puzzle Hustle has a huge 12 by 12 binary puzzle that does require guessing, and I'm not proud of it. Okay, let's see. If I... Are any of the rows or columns equal? Oh, look at this. See, if I were to make... if I were to make that green, like this, then this row would now be equal to that row. Therefore, that has to be red, that goes green, that goes red, and that goes green. And now, No. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Down here, no. The only row that... Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, I can finish this row. Okay, that does that. And now the top row... Nope, still not... It's still not revealing its secrets. There must be a pair of rows or a pair of columns that can disambiguate. Yes, there we go. The last column and column 4. So they have to be opposites of each other, which puts red there and green there. Okay, we've done that. Green, 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 green. That has to be green, green, green. And then we move on to red. Red, red, red. More green, more red. More red and another green and another red. Aha, so now the bottom row and the third row tell us which way around the green and the red go there. So that goes here, that goes here, that goes here. And we can finish this row. Okay, now this column... No, none of the columns are equal. What about the rows? Also no. Oh! Jesus, I can finish this column, and then obviously this needs to go here. And now I should be able to... Oh, there we go. I can finish this column. And there we go. Alright. That's that puzzle done. Let's move on to this one. Red, 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 and red. And then green, and then more red. And there's another green. Okay. We have 2 reds on both sides of the column, so we have to put greens here to avoid a run of 3 greens. Then this has to be red, this has to be green, this has to complete the column. And this has to complete the column, which means that is green. And then we have a red. Let's see, this is a green, and this is a red. Okay. And then we have the first column and the fourth column. Yeah. There we go. Okay, let's complete this row, this row. I really should complete the rows as soon as it becomes possible. Okay, so bingo, the second and the fifth column. Yeah. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Alright, that's that done. I feel that I'm kind of accruing experience while I'm doing this, which means that I might be able to do the first one, the top left one, afterwards. Okay, so we needed this to be green so that these aren't all green. Let's see what else. Oh wow, am I... there we go, this column here. That has to be red. But that's only a small pixel that I just... once again, I'm forgetting to complete the rows and columns. Alright, now we can't have 3 reds in a row, so this can't be green, and this can't be green. There we go. That makes that one red, and this one green. Don't forget to finish the column. Alright, let's finish this row, however. Then we have this column. Aha, now these 2 columns that are helpfully adjacent to each other tell me which way around that goes. And then here we need to finish this column. Let's see. Yes, column 3 and column 6 must be opposites. There we go. Okay, so now let's see if I can find something here. Maybe I need to do a sort of 2-step deduction, you know, a sort of what if. But I'm generally not good at them because you have to, like, you know, fill things in your head. So I'm going to do it like this. I'm just going to assume what happens if this is green, right? What happens is that's red, that's red, that's red, that's red. A lot of red happens. And then this happens, and okay, so now this column here is done. That needs to be green, and that finishes the column here. So it seems that I accidentally made the right guess. which is of course a bit of a bummer because I would have preferred to solve it logically. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a copy of this, I put that in a layer and hide that layer. Actually no, I have to put it in a separate file so that I can do the undo. So I'm going to undo back to the place where I made this guess, and now I'm going to do the opposite guess. What if this is red? Well, if this is red, that tells me absolutely nothing. Right, let me quickly check if any of the columns or rows in this are... Yes, indeed! Look at this. The second column and the fifth column, they are identical. Which means that this is not the correct solution. Which means that this is in fact red. So I needed to make that red. Okay. So I did not accidentally stumble upon the correct answer. I stumbled upon the wrong answer. So, where else can I put pixels? I need to put me some pixels. Well, this is really stumping me right now. Okay, so let's just do take another guess. Hypothetically, if this one is red, right, then this up here can't be red, so that would be green, and that's a dead end, as far as I can tell. Yeah, so I'm gonna take a different guess. I suspect that if I make this pixel red, I can probably finish the entire bottom row, or at least some other rows and columns. There we go. So I did finish a column, even if not the bottom one. This has to be red, which makes this green. We already have 3 greens on the right. So I'm gonna put... Oh, look at that. Column 3 and column 6 are once again identical. Same as last time. So I'm going to undo again, and now I know that this one here, which is what my guess was, must in fact be green. So now that we have 3 greens in this column, I can do some more logic on this. I was looking forward to that. Because taking guesses really isn't all that fulfilling, to be honest. Which is also why I'm not so proud of my own version of this. Okay, so it seems that I'm stuck again. Quick think where else I can put stuff. No, I think I'm gonna take another guess then. So what if this were red? Right, you know what, I'm going to mark this kind of purplish so that I can actually tell where the guess was. I probably should have done that last time for the benefit of you, the viewers. Okay, so that seems to work. And now those 2 columns are threatening to be identical, so I have to swap those. And there are 3 reds in this row, and then that goes green, that goes green. So now, let me quickly check for identical rows and columns. I think the columns are fine, and the rows are also fine. Okay, so I think that this is the answer, but I'm still going to try out. So if I were to put a green here, would I get a contradiction? So that would have to put a red here. And once again, that doesn't really take me very far. Do I have to take yet another guess just to verify the uniqueness of my first solution? Well, I guess I do. So I guess I'm gonna put no. Column 2, look at this. Maybe that was already the case. No, it was not the case before the guess. So if this is green, right, then the second and fifth column are threatening to become equal. So let's put those in like that. So that puts a green between the red and the red between the green. And now we have another dead end. This is amazing how many dead ends there are in this one. The other grids were all really quick to do. Let's see if I can see any more. Ah, no. Okay, I guess I'm gonna take another guess. What if this was green? Right, if that was green, then that would make this red, and now we have, oh, now we have two rows that are equal, so I could have just spotted that those are already threatening to be equal. So that has to be green, that has to be red, that has to be green, that has to be red, red, so that makes that green, that makes that red, and the this row and this row. So this must be wrong, right? There must be two identical rows or columns, otherwise this would be a second possible solution. And I cannot actually see any rows or columns that are equal. So it seems that maybe this puzzle, or rather the sub-puzzle I should say, is ambiguous. I'm looking at this one here as well. I'm looking at the preview up here on the screen. And they are indeed different. And none of the rows and columns here seem to be equal. So let's take another look at this. Maybe I missed a pair of rows and columns. Ooh, look at this. The second row only has 2 red pixels. I didn't even check for that. The second row only has 2 red pixels. It is possible that I made a mistake in my logic to get that, but for now, I'm going to assume that this is the correct answer. All the rows have 3 reds and all the columns have 3 reds, so I'm happy with this. Okay, so now I need to overlay this other layer here, and I'm going to semi-transparentify this so I can actually see which ones are green and red. And then I'm going to write down these bit numbers. Okay, so let's close this. So let's look at the first one. So once again, remember how I said that capital Z looks more likely to be a 1. So I'm going to write down a 0 for the greens and a 1 for the reds. And that would give me 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, which would be a Charlie. And then we have 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 8. That's a 9, which is India. Okay. And then the next one here would be 0, no, it would be 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, which is 2, 4, 8, 16, so 18, which would be, okay, so it could be circle. It could be circle. Let's see, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, yep, that is a C. Let's see, that would be 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, which is 1, 2, 4, 8, that's 12. Yep, I'm convinced now that, and here indeed we have 1 and 4, so that is circle. So I'm going to say that section 1, which was binary puzzle, is circle. Okay. Now, circle, key, and triforce. What connects those 3 things? Well, X-ray has a thing that is commonly referred to as a triforce. It does not seem to have anything like a key, but I'm sure that there are some rule seeds that do, because X-ray actually has quite a lot of symbols. In fact, I believe that I can probably show you this. If I go here, there is the image. Right. This is all of the symbols, and as you can see here, right, right here, there is indeed a key. So this is what I'm thinking right now, but maybe not, because where would you get the rule seeds? I don't know. We'll see. All right, so I guess now that we know that each of these Zs could be a digit as well, we can actually easily find each of those flavor texts. So we're just going to replace all of the Zs with A to Z 0 to 9, like this, in the selection. Replace all the spaces with this, and then find this in all of the HTML files. And we should be able to find the title of, or rather the flavor text for section 2, which I wish I had a repository of HTML pages that are just the main manuals, not the not the embellished and not the translations, because then it'd be much faster uh, to search through them. Can you make the lights overlap in time? So that's obviously grid matching, and these are 4x4 grids, which are probably somewhere in here. And then it says ×2, so I suspect that we're gonna get something like can, for example, or tuk, but we'll see. Okay, so we have 4 whites, sorry, 2 rows of 4 whites, so 8 whites, and then this sort of tail. So let's see if I can find that. I'm first gonna look for it without rotations. Okay, I didn't find it without rotations, but if I look here, yeah. Okay, so that is actually without rotation. So it's the bottom left of Bravo. So bonbon. It's gonna be bonbon. I'm calling it now. It's bonbon. So let's see if this pattern occurs in O. O is right here, and indeed, nope, not quite. There it is. Yeah. It's in the middle right. That is O, and then the N. Let's check that. That does not. Okay, that doesn't seem to match, but yeah, it matches if you rotate it clockwise. Let me just quickly do that and then verify that. So if I take this here and transform it by rotating it 90 degrees, like this. Yes, that worked. Okay, so now, bingo, now that shape is actually in the top left. Right, which means we're looking for bonbon. Okay, now you know what bonbon reminds me of. Friendship. Bonbon is, this one will say sweetie drops, but bonbon is another name for the same pony, which I could prove to you by going to the wiki, but right now I want to get on with this puzzle. Okay, so we've done section 3, which I still don't know what the name is, but until I actually need the name, I'm not gonna. Okay, I wanna see if I can figure this out without looking for the flavor text. Maze. Let's see if there is a module with 3 words in the name and the third one is maze. Let's turn off these extra thing. Cruel Boolean maze. No, the first word is much longer than that. Let's see. Faulty RGB maze. No, the second word is longer than that. The crystal maze again is too short. Polyhedral maze only has two words, so it might not be maze. And why would it be maze anyway? Like, why am I even thinking maze? You know what? I have an idea. Why don't I... Yes, I have an idea. I can go to my HTML thing here, and I can just list all of the HTML files, and I can put this in a file. And I'm going to put it in this directory, and I'm going to call it deep sleep. I need to put double quotes around that. Deep sleep module names.txt. Right, so now I can open that here, deep sleep module names. I can delete everything that has translated or embellished or whatever, but translated is the bulk of it that I want to get rid of, so I think that should be enough. Alright, and now we have a single list. Remove all occurrences of .html. Close this. Okay, and now let's see if I can find a module title that fits this scheme. Alright, so each of the z's once again becomes A to Z 0 to 9 in the selection, and all of the spaces, well, actually, in this case, the spaces probably don't need to be, yeah, okay, so I do want a line that starts with that and ends with that. Ooh, I didn't find that. Let's see, bamboozle again with, okay, yeah, it will only find things Let's start with this. Okay. That's interesting. Alright, well, in that case then, I'm going to, but this really bothered, oh my gosh, I just realized that one of these Zs has another thing on it, which now makes me think that maybe this is one of the translated, you know what, no, I'm gonna do this now. This is the most effective way to find what I'm looking for. So let's change all of the Zs to this again, all of the spaces to that, and then find this in all of the HTML files. Here we go. That was actually surprisingly fast. Oh, it's because I didn't check regular expressions. I do need to search by regular expressions. Okay, so we're looking for something that has a question mark and then quite a lot more text after that. Let's see if we can find that. Morse code optimized, Morse code an antiquated form. So it is Morse code. It is Morse code. Ah, okay, now I get it. I don't know what's in the first column, but the second column says word and the third column says language. Language, yeah, the number of letters. Okay. So, so that's what this is. It says translated Morse code rather than Morse code translated. That's why I didn't find that. Okay. Whew. That means we need to look at. So I need to know whether this language is in the original language. Like, for example, that would say Français instead of French and Deutsch instead of German. How could we figure this out? Okay. Let's just open all of them. Let's go to Morse code here. Let's open this. And we have all of the translations here, and I'm just gonna do. We can probably skip all of the ones that don't have Latin letters. I'm gonna assume that, and let's just open all of these. There we go. All right. Oh, I didn't even need that. Okay, so now we're okay, that's not for the translated module. Okay, so now we're looking for one where the first letter has an acute accent. Let's find that out. None of these, none of these. That's not an acute accent. None of these, none of these. Ooh, even French doesn't have that. Okay. Okay, aha. Okay, so Polish is one possible contender. Let's see if there is any others. Portuguese, no. And Finnish, no. Okay, and of course not Swedish. Okay, so that means that this must be Polish. And the only word that starts with an acute accent is Schwinka, which is 3515. So I'm gonna... Right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy all of this into the text file here. Let's close that search thing, right? It's a bit annoying. I want to align all of these. So let's do this like that, and then let's do this manually. I can do this. Right, let's do this. Okay, these are the words, and then these are the languages, and then these are the not quite sure what this is supposed to stand for. If anything, I would expect the word frequency. Maybe answer? No, answer is 6 letters. It's not that. Okay, so let's mark the ones that you know, that we need to extract. The ones that are highlighted in red. That would be these, and then that one, and then 2 more. All right. So let's change that into that. There we go. Okay, now we know that this is Schwinka. Schwinka, like that. And so if we put Polish, that fits. If we put Polski, that also fits. So we don't actually know which one it is yet. And this is 3.515, which means we get a 1. Okay. And now the other giveaway. Wait a second. Right, okay. So the other giveaway is a what's it called? A Karen, a hat check. And we're looking for a 5-letter word that has a hat check in the middle. Now I'm going to just use this here. I'm going to search for either S or C with a hat check, and then 2 letters in front, 2 letters after. And I'm going to look through Morse star.html, and that should find it. And indeed we have... Oh, none of these are actually... Okay, fine. I will go through them manually. Why not? My best guess would have been Czech, but it turns out that none of these. I think Estonian has a C with a... Right, but that one doesn't have it. Well, Esperanto wouldn't be a hat check here. It would be a circumflex. Ooh. This is a breathe, not a hat check. Let's see if Esperanto fits here. Esperan. Okay, it wouldn't fit anyway, so it's not that good. This is also not a hat check. This is a circumflex. Let's see what else has hat checks. I don't think any of those other languages do. So that is a bit... It's not Polish either. Okay, I'm a little bit stumped by that. So we've identified this, and I still don't know what this is. Oh, could this actually be Morse code, like dash 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 dot or dot 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 dash? Ah, let's see what Schwinker would be in Morse code. This would be extremely clever, because this is brilliant. Let me just say this, right? Because I have had a hunt puzzle in the past where you had Morse code with all of the spaces between the letters missing, and that is extremely difficult to decode. But this time we have more information. We know that they are words from Morse code, and we know how many letters are in the language. This is brilliant. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, so Schwinker. Alright, that's S acute, which is dot 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 dash dot dot dot, and then Winker. So we get dot 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 dash dot dot dot, then we have a W, then we have I, then we have N, then we have K, and then we have A. So that actually fits. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's what this is. So W dot N K, whoops, and then A. Alright, I'm going to realign all of this, because this is extremely likely to be the longest one of them all. So I don't think we're going to need to realign this again in the future. Okay, so that has worked. Okay, so now we can look for... It's still going to be a bit difficult here. Okay, let's see. What is the longest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Esperanto does have 9 letters, so I'm going to assume that this is an Esperanto one. Let's see if that holds water. This is the one that is right above the Polish one. Okay, so let's look at the Esperanto words. Let's do this. Okay, so which ones of these would start with a dot? None of them start with echo. Which ones would start with dot dash? That would be an alpha. So none of them start with alpha. Dot dash dot would be Romeo. So let's see if rompi, radaro, regulo. Let's see if any of those fit. So it can't be rompi, because we would have another dash after that. Then we have dot or dot dash. Dot dash, and then dash dash dot dash for the A, and then dot dash dot. This is radaro. This is radaro in Esperanto, and the frequency for that is 3582. Now let me just very quickly make sure it couldn't also be regulo. Right, it couldn't, because L would have to be dot dash dot dot. Okay, so this is one way of doing this. Okay, so the next longest name of a language has 8 letters. We still don't know, by the way, whether this is in English, whether this is Polish or Polski. I really hope that it's going to be Polski, but Let's see. So which ones of these have 8 letters? Well, Deutsch has only 7. Espanol has only 7. Français, that one has 8. Ooh, Netherlands is even longer. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So either Netherlands doesn't appear, or these are the English names for the languages, in which case it would be Dutch, which is only 5 letters. That is also not there. So we can safely close the Dutch manual, because that one doesn't come up. Alright, so I think Français deserves a consideration here. Let's see if this works. So we have ... So it can't be a C. It could be salle. No, because then you would have a 4th dot. Which ones are these? Start with 3 dots. No, this is dash ... So it's not that. So it's none of these. So this is not French. So the English word for French has 6 letters. Alright, so I guess we could examine the 6-letter ones, which is one of those 2. And then we will finally know for certain, assuming one of these comes up. Right, this one has a lot of dots, so let's see which ones of these have a lot of dots. In particular, we have 5 dots right at the start. Seems to me that should be pretty rare. And indeed, yeah, none of these. The only one that even starts with 3 dots is the letter S. Right, all the other ones, like B is dash ... C is dash ... F is ... sorry, ... dash ... and P is ... So we definitely do not have French here. Let's check if this one could be French. I'm a bit amused by the fact that it finds me the other sequences of Zs, even though they're in different casing. Alright, so we want ... dash. So ... dash ... is an F. So let's see if folie fits. No, we would have dash ... after that. Let's check all of the Fs. Oh, there you go. A bingo. That would fit fruit. So that is definitely a candidate for fruit. Oh, not fruit. Fruit. There you go. And that would be French. And now we know that these names are in English. 3, 5, 4, 2. Now, I am tempted to go through the other Fs just to quickly... ooh, look at that. FIL would also fit. It would go all the way up to here. But then, of course, the MS doesn't fit, so it's not that. And it's not this either, because this requires an S, which is 3 dots. Alright. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. I think we found the French one. This is a 2. Whoops. This is a 2. Oh, all this alignment, come on. This is a 2, this is a 1, this is an 8. Okay, I'm enjoying this. This is amazing. And I'm not gonna do, or maybe I do. ... dash ... space ... dash space ... space ... dash space ... There you go. Okay, that's that. Romeo and Oscar. Here we go. Okay. So that was French, or at least I think... Yeah, that's right. We determined that this one can't be French, and therefore we're done with French. Okay. Now, Portuguese is another pretty long word. This has 9 letters, so in English it would be 10 letters, which would be longer than Esperanto, so I think we can safely close that. Now, this is Finnish, which has 7 letters. I'm enjoying this so much. This is amazing. Finnish. Okay, so any of those could be Finnish. Oh, wow. Alright, we're in for some searching here. Okay, let's start with this one here. This one has ridiculously many dashes. Okay, so it needs to start with a dash ... So K would work, but then E is wrong, and KA is also wrong. KO, that would work. KO. That's not an I, so it's not that either. What else starts with dash ... November starts with dash ... No. Dash ... would be a Yankee, and none of these start with Yankee. Okay, so this one's not Finnish. Let's move on to the next one that could be Finnish, this one here. So what starts with dash ... Well, not kilo, because that's Right, would start with dash dot dot, let's put it that way. Delta would be dash dot dot, but Finnish doesn't actually have a delta. Oh, wait, it does. There's a delta right in here, but it doesn't start with delta. So, oh yeah, it was Bravo that it doesn't have. There are some really normal letters like Bravo that Finnish just flat out doesn't have. It also doesn't have an F, by the way, despite the name Finnish. It doesn't have an F in Finnish, and Finnish itself is called Suomi. Right, anyway, I'm getting so distracted by this. This is so cool. Alright, let's see. Dash could be a tango, so let's see if any of the tangos. TA does not fit. TU does not fit. No. Okay, so I don't think that this is Finnish. So that leaves two more. These both start with dot dash, which could be A or E. None of these start with A or E, so dot dash dot could be Romeo, Rikos, Ri, and then wrong. So it's not Rikos, and it's none of the others. What about dash dot dot? That would be a Lima. Am I right about that? Dot dash dot dash. Yes, I am. None of these words start with, oh, Lahti does start. But that is not an A. So this is also not Finnish. That leaves only this one. I believe this is the only one I haven't checked yet. If this one also isn't Finnish, then that was a waste of time. Okay, so it could start with E, A, or Romeo. So let's see if this one could be Rikos. No, because we need a dash here for the K. And nothing else starts with R. And then, of course, dot dash dot dot would be Lima, and this can't be an A. So, unfortunately, we don't have Finnish. Next one, Swedish. Okay, let's see. Swedish. Yeah, Swedish has the same number of letters as Finnish, so we're gonna have to go through the same letters again. So this one could start with E, A, or R. Let's see. Rekord and rikti. Okay, so one of those two would fit. Let's see if for record we would need a capital Z here, a dash here, and for riktig we would need a dash here, which means that neither of those two can be either of those two. So let's take a look at these. These both start with dash dot, which could be a tango or a November. Nope, none of them are tango or November. Then we have dash dot dash, which could be kilo. Ooh, a lot of these start with kilo. Actually, not that many. And both of them have a dot in one of the next two, so that's not it either. And this one here starts with, wait, dash, I need to be thorough. It could start with a Yankee. Nope, none of them start with Yankee. So this is also not Swedish. Then we have dash dot, which I've already checked. Dash dot dot would be delta. Let's see, that one. These both start with delta, so we have an echo and then a Juliet. And then a tango and then alpha, yes! Okay, this is dash dot dot, which is a delta, then a dot, which is an echo, then dot dash dash dash, which is Juliet, and then a tango, and then an alpha. This is data, whatever that means, and this is Swedish. Whew, we won 3.565, and that is a 6. This puzzle is awesome. It's going to be really laborious, but I'm enjoying every moment of this. Now let's see, Norwegian is probably too long. Yep, that doesn't fit. So Norwegian is right out of the question. Italian, let's see. Italian, yep, quite a lot of these same length ones. Alright, so let's see. It totally never occurred to me this whole time that I could have made use of the length of the words. This one here is longer. And this one, this one has the circumflex on it, so I could have, well, I already tried to find that, and I couldn't find it. Well, anyway, let's get on with this. So let's see which one of these could be Italian. All right, so this one starts with, let's see, that's either an echo or an alpha or a Romeo or a Lima. Echo, alpha, Romeo. That's Earl. It's literally the word Earl. So let's see what starts with the letters of Earl. And that's it. It's just these. Okay, so let's start with echo. The next one would have to be Sierra, and it's not. In neither of those two cases, right? I'm looking at both of these. Starting with alpha, the next one is definitely not a tango and definitely not a November, because that would require another dash. And also not another tango, so we don't have Italian up here. What about this one? This one could start with tango. Let's see, could it be any of these? Wow, it's a lot of words. Could it start with dash dot? That would be November. No. Could it start with kilo? No, most definitely not. Italian doesn't have a kilo. And that would be a Yankee, which it also doesn't have. Okay, so if anything, it would have to start with tango. This could be an alpha. Well, it's definitely not a Romeo, and it's also not a uniform. So those two are out. So it's definitely an alpha. And then let's see. This is not a Zulu. Zulu is dash dash dot dot. Yes. It's also not an S. But it could be a T followed by a T. Yeah, and that's far too much. Okay, so it's not Italian. Okay, so let's close down Italian. And I think we can close down Esperanto as well, right? Spanish. Alright, which ones of these could be Spanish? Yes, Spanish fits in here. Now, I'm not even going to check this one for Spanish because Spanish most definitely doesn't... or I suppose if neither of the first two fit, then I can still check it. Okay, so we're looking for Echo, Alpha, or Romeo. Echo, Alpha, Romeo, Lima. Oh yeah, Earl. That's right, I need to remember that. Earl. That's not an Earl. Okay, so it would have to start with a Romeo, which is this part, and then it cannot have an Alpha after it, so that's not it. It can have an Echo, and then it cannot have a mic that would require dash dash. So let's see, S and then T. Oh, this is one Z away from being resta. This would be an R, E, and then S, and then a T. Right, and then this is not resta. Just on the off chance that this might be a mistake in the puzzle, I'm gonna write that down. But oh yeah, and I also said I was going to check this one, even though I really don't think it's going to be this. You see, this Morse code is relatively long for 5 letters, and the reason for that is very likely that the accented letter in the middle probably has a longer code. You may remember that this S here had a super long code, so it's probably going to be similar for this one. Alright. Let's find another language. This is Estonian. Which ones of these would fit that? Estonian. Yep, that would fit here. Okay. Let's see. Dot, dot, dot. So it could start with Echo, India, Sierra, or Victor. Echo, India, Sierra, Victor. So Vise. V-I-S-E. V. Ooh. Okay, no I's and no S's. And only one E. Alright, let's try the E first. Ah, that would be followed by an M, so it's not that. So that would be V, and then we definitely have an A, then we definitely have an R, and it could not be an E, an I. And then we have an Alpha followed by a Sierra. Bingo, this is Varas, and in Estonian, that's right. This is in 3.522 megahertz, and that gives us a 2. Yeah. Okay, so let's close that. Now, this one here is the only one that has 6 letters, and therefore the only one that could potentially be German. But because this Morse code is really long, I strongly suspect that it's gonna be, one of these with a special character. So let's see. This has to have 6 letters, so it can't be that. It can't be this specific one. It could be this. Let's see which ones have 6 letters. That one has 6 letters. Why am I finding it hard to ascertain which ones have 6 letters? Alright, that one has 6 letters. Ooh, here is one with an umlaut in it, and this one also has an umlaut. Okay, so it would have to start with 3 dots. So Lima is already out of the question. This would be 3 dots followed by 4 dashes. So that is also out of the question. And Romeo is out of the question, Bravo is out of the question. Victor would be dot 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 dash, so that's out of the question. Okay, and Tango is also out of the question. So we have S, and then I, and then... Oh! This has a C, followed by an H, which is incorrect. In German Morse code, CH is dash 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 dash. I'm going to chalk that up to a bug in the puzzle. So this is an E and then this is an L. So we're looking at sicher. So 3, 5, 4, 2, and that is a 4. Okay. So we are left with Danish and Czech, And there must be some more languages that I've missed. It's entirely possible that one of these is one of the languages that uses non-Latin letters. For example, Russian. Russian would fit, I guess. In which case, yeah, I'm still really curious to find out what this is, though. Czech is the only language that I can imagine having it, and none of them have it. Well, let's take a, oh, also Czech wouldn't actually fit here. None of these would fit Czech because Czech only has 5 letters. So this is definitely not Czech. None of them is Czech. Alright. Well, let's take a look at Danish, right? And either one of these... Ooh, Danish also doesn't fit. Ooh, I was gonna say either one of those could be Danish, but no. Okay, I've literally just run out of translations of Morse code. Okay, so we've gone through all of the ones with Latin writing, so I'm gonna take a look at Russian now, just to see if any of these. Now, unfortunately, I'm not quite as fluent with the Russian Morse code, but let's see what we can make out. So this one would have to start with a dot, which would be a ye, or a dot dash, which would be a, or a dot dash dot, which is probably er, or dot dash dot dot, which is probably l. Yes, it is. So it's the same as Earl, right? E-A-R-L, which is just those two. So let's see if Roker or Rostock matches. So this would be R, and then for an O you would need dashes, right? The O is here. Yeah, that would be dashes. So neither of those could be that. Let's take a look at this. Dash would be a tango. Let's see if it is a T. Yes, it is a Russian T. But there is one that starts with T. Let's quickly check if it is that. No, because that would have to have 4 dashes. Now that would be an N. So, aha, but the N. Oh, that is interesting. The N in Cyrillic has the Morse code of the H. So what would be dash dot? I'm very curious now. I cannot actually see dash dot. Oh, that is very strange. Oh, look at that. The ha actually has the same. So I think this is a mistake. I think this should say dash dot. But regardless, none of these actually start with an N, so it doesn't even matter. Alright, dash dot dash would be a ka, which is this one here. So it could be any of these. Let's see, this could be an O. So it could be this one, and then I kratkoje. I kratkoje has dot dash dash dash. Yes, that could be that, and then an K and an A. That, oh my... It's not a hat check at all. It's the kratkoje. Oh my word. That is so cool. Alright, koika, ladies and gentlemen. We found it. So that is 3.582. Okay. So, I don't know what to do with the other two. It's entirely possible that these could be one of the other non-Latin, you know, it could be Hebrew or Thai or something, or Korean maybe. Let's see if any of those fit. Hebrew doesn't fit, Thai doesn't fit, Korean doesn't fit. No. Chinese. Chinese would fit. Japanese would probably be too long. Yes. Okay, so let's take a quick look at Chinese, but I very highly doubt that. Ooh, it actually uses the English words, so. Oh, English? Oh my god, I never looked at English. I never looked at English. That is so amazing. I just totally assumed that all of them would be translations. It didn't even occur to me to check English. Alright, so echo. So again, Earl, right? Earl. It's one of... Alright, it's the only one that starts with an Earl letter. Let's see if either of them is leaks. Yes, this one here is leaks. Look at this. This is an L, dot dash dot dot, and then E, and then dot dash, and then dash dot dash, and then dot dot dot. That is absolutely leaks in English, which is 3542, which gives us a 4. Now let's quickly check if this one is... Oh yeah, that would also have to be leaks, so that can't be it. Okay then. since I've exhausted all of the languages, it's possible that it is one of the languages that I closed, that I closed the tab of. In which case, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and decode this manually, right? So all the lowercase z's are of course dots, and the capital Z is a dash. Okay, so let's write down literally all possibilities. Okay, so we could have either a dot, which would be right. Okay, so obviously if I did this, right, then that would just be E T E E. It's not going to be that, right? In fact, we know how many letters it needs to be, right? I can look that up here. Right, this needs to be 5 letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the rest of this would have to be the 5th letter, and that's if anything, this would be a foreign character, but I wouldn't know which. Okay, so let's try. So ETE. Let's actually see if any of the Morse code words start with ETE. And I'm going to do that by doing this, and I know that it has 5 letters. So let's try that. In fact, I'm going to try it. No, I don't want to try A to Z because it could be an international letter. So let's use that. Okay, none of them have that pattern, so I don't think it starts with ETE. Alright, let's try ETI. Yeah, I think this is going to take a while. In fact, let's try this, right? ET. What could follow ET? It could either be an E, which we've already checked it isn't, or an I, or an S, or an H, but not more. Right, so it's got to be either one of those. Right, let's find that in all of the HTML files. Ethos, right. That's okay, that's from the rule seed. Right? This is yeah, I don't know why the Czech translation. Oh, it says original module, so that's why. Okay. So that's clearly not the word we're looking for. Now I want to fit this on the screen. Okay, let's see if we can find something that starts with E and then has something other than a T. So this could be, let's see, if it's not a T, it could be dash dot, which is November, dash dot dot would be Delta, dash dot 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 would be Bravo, and then it would have to have 3 extra letters because it is 5 in total. Okay, so once again, the rule seed matches are coming up. Wait a second, we have, oh, that's Morse amaze. For a moment there I thought, wait, we don't have Morse code in Turkish, but apparently we have a Morse amaze translation in Turkish. Okay, yeah, it seems that I'm not finding this one, and also I don't want to bore you guys with this, so I'm going to stop here and just pretend that this missing... Oh, that's right, it could still be Spanish resta. That was, ooh, Spanish, Español, Código Morse. Take a look at this. So resta, let's see. So that would be an R, that would be an E, that would be an S, that would be a T, or not. I mean, T is still a dash. And then this would be the A. So this Z would have to go away for this to be resta in Spanish. Oh my gosh, am I really that blind? It's not a dash, it's a dash dash that makes it resma. Oh my gosh, that is so embarrassing. Alright, well, at least I found it in the end, and this digit is a 3, and we can put this section to rest. Well, actually we can't, because I still don't know how to turn this into a word. Right, we are in section 4, I believe. This is section 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it is section 4. Okay, so I don't know how to turn this into a word, so let's see if I can figure that out. Well, first of all, let's see if that exact sequence of digits comes up anywhere in any HTML file, but I very much doubt it. That would very much surprise me if that came up anywhere. So I'm thinking that if this is A1Z26, then it would start with DC, which is obvious nonsense. It can't be that either. Yeah, those digits don't come up anywhere. Oh, they could be indexes into something, and since this is an 8, which is a very high number, I'm gonna assume they're indexes into the language name. So that would be an L, A, S. Ah, this is working. 2, 4, 6, 8. Last. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I came up with that. 2, 4, 6, because this is exactly the kind of thing that would get me frustrated if I got stuck. So this is Morse code, and the answer is last prism. Prism. Whew. Okay. I feel bad for erasing all of this. So for future reference, I think I want to keep this around. So I'm going to put this in a separate tab. I'm going to call it Deep Sleep Extra Notes. Let's call it that. There you go. Okay. Let's close the Morse code manual, the module names. Yeah, alright, let's move on to section 5, which is this one. I want to see if I can recognize this. Well, these are obviously Tetris pieces. Well, not obviously, some of them are pentominos. But what module or manual has them arranged like this? I'm dying to find the crafting table, I suppose, but that doesn't fit the Z's in the title. So I'm going to do the search for the flavor text again. Let's search for A to Z, not to 9, that, all the spaces, that, and then use a regular expression to find this in all of the HTML files. Oops, I accidentally included match case. I do not want that, because obviously the flavor text is not going to be in all capitals. And now we see get in shape without exercising, Shikaku. Oh, Shikaku. Oh, this is very clever. Very, very clever. Okay, Shikaku. Alright, let's see. So we're looking at this one. Oh. This one. This one. This one. And this one. No, this one. Okay. Okay, let's why would they be arranged like this? This is very strange. Okay, so let's start again. This here points at the 2. Could that be it? Could that be a 2? And then this L shape that was here, that one's on the one edge. So we get a 2 here, a 1 here. The vertical line is not on an edge though. Okay, if I go clockwise around this, starting here, starting with this one, because there's a bigger gap here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go clockwise around it. So we start here, and then we go here. Let's actually just fill in all the intervening, right? So then we land here, so that seems to go sort of diagonally. Then we have that goes up. This does seem to form. And then it goes here. Is that no? It goes here. Oh, that is very strange. Up until this point, this was symmetric, but now this is very weird. Oh wait. It's actually here. Still weird though, because going from here to there. If, however, I start here, yeah, if I start here, then it goes diagonal, horizontal, diagonal, and then vertical. Let me see what that looks like. It would look like, let's copy this. Put that here, close that, and we would get something like this. Here, let's make that bigger, like that. Let's also make it more apparent, something like that. Well, actually, let's make it red, I guess. I think that's more visible. There you go, bright red. Okay, so then it would go over to here, and then it would do this, and then it would do this. What does that look like? I don't know what this looks like. This is very interesting, but also a bit mysterious. I don't think I need this anymore, so I guess I can close that. Okay, I'm a little bit stumped by this. So I guess I'm gonna write down that section 6 is Shikaku. Oh, it just occurred to me. It just occurred to me that at some point I did figure out that this says translated. So that's probably why I didn't think of English. It's because English isn't translated, English is the original. Okay, so we know that this is Shikaku, but I don't know how to extract a word from that. So let's move on to the 7th section. I do not recognize this at all, so I'm gonna have to do this. There is no other way. Change all the A's to that. Change all the spaces to that. And then find me everything in the HTML files. This is amazing. I don't know how long I've been at this puzzle, probably already a few hours. But I am enjoying this tremendously. Absolutely tremendous. This is brilliant. Okay. This module demands attention from the C semaphore. Oh my word, this is so clever. So I have to find the Z's of the same size, sort them by size. Oh, this is great. This is so creative. This is very, very creative. I am so in awe. Okay, so take the smallest Z's first. That forms a Sierra. And then the next smallest is up here. That would be a tango. That seems to form a reasonable start of a word. Then we have down and down left. That is an alpha. And then we have the medium size, which is a Romeo. And then this is a stair. Okay. Stair. I'm trying to figure out if I can see a pattern here. But so far I haven't. Last prism especially. Let me see if last prism occurs as an exact phrase in any manual. It does. Oh. It's the answer. Wait a sec. Ooh. Oh, okay, Terraria quiz. Okay. I was gonna say, well, this is the answer, the solution page to another sort of community puzzle, but yeah, that's because that puzzle refers to Terraria quiz. It's a bit weird that that would come up sooner in the search results than Terraria quiz itself, but there we go. Last Prism is actually a reference to Terraria quiz, and I think Triforce we can all agree is probably X-Ray. Bonbon is probably Friendship. The others could be a lot of things. But let's keep going. We have some more sections to go through. The next one, ooh, with square brackets in front. Meta. This is the meta. Meta, 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 meta. Is this a reference to one of the earlier puzzles? Let's see. Meta. Counterparts. Counterpart. Nope, that does not fit. Okay. Yeah, it's none of these are a single word except vexing, which is too short. Okay. So I think this is probably still a module name, and it just says meta in front because we need to use that. Okay, so this was semaphore, right? So section 8 is the meta, right? Section 8. Right, let's see what module that is. So all of the Z's become that, all of the digits, all of the spaces, excuse me, become that. And the apostrophe, since I don't actually know which of the two possible apostrophes it is in the manual, I'm going to allow for both. So let's find that in all of the HTML files. And before that comes up, let me see if I can... So I think... my first thought was... my first thought was switches, because, you know, I was looking at some of these where the Z is either up or down, but obviously it's not that, because there are some where the Z is in multiple places. So what has a 10-button color code? Has a 4x2, but this is very intriguing. I'm really tempted to just sit down and think about this, but, you know, because I'm on the video, I think I'm gonna... Oh, Dreams, I would never have guessed that. I don't even know how that module works. Okay. Bingo. Okay, So that's where all these symbols are from. Okay, so it's not friendship, it's not Terraria quiz, it's not... Or is it? Ah, okay. Well, let me take a quick look at Terraria quiz, and notice that the last prism looks like this, and indeed, that symbol looks very much like it. Okay. So I don't know what this is. So circle is... Which ones of these... Which one of the... I mean, obviously this is inner circle, but there we go. That is literally just a circle. Okay. And then bonbon would be here. And then the key would be here. Last prison would be here. The Triforce is that one. Okay, so this is looking a bit random, which strongly suggests that, you know, I can't decode this just by looking at this arrangement. I'm not quite sure what stair would... Oh, there we go. That's the one. Okay. So I'm going to have to read through this entire manual to find out how this module works. A sequence of glyphs will be displayed along the bottom half of the circular screen. Some of the glyphs in the sequence correspond to letters of the English alphabet. The other glyphs are decoys. To figure out which glyphs map to which letters, refer to recreating the glyph alphabet on the next page. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Start by creating a string of 16 bits from the glyphs shown on the module, where each bit is 0 if the glyph is outlined and 1 if it is filled. Okay, so let's see if there is anything... Oh, I totally forgot that we have all of this information down here. So, yeah, let's close that and that. Start by creating a string of 16 bits. Well, this is 8 bits. But in total, it is quite a lot of bits. Very strange. Take the leftmost 8 bits in the string and convert them to a decimal number. This is the number of the starting glyph, starting from 0 in the top left, proceeding in reading order and wrapping around if necessary. Take the next 4 bits in the string, convert them into a decimal number, add 1 to that number and advance that many additional glyphs. The resulting glyph maps to the last letter in the serial... Ooh, so we need a serial number as well. Oh my word. I don't know what to do with this. Proceed likewise for the next 4 bits in the string. Yeah, I think we have a bit too many bits here. Right, let's see how many cells there are, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. It's 8 by 8. What is this? 2, 4, 6, 8. It's 8 by 8. What does that tell us? That tells us that the circle is actually in the bottom left, which is 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So that's not A1Z26, but it could still be ASCII. Now the bonbon is this one here. I mean, this one here. There you go. Oops. Yeah, I'm being a bit too meticulous here. So that would be, oh, that's definitely not ASCII then. 1, 2, and then 0, 1, 1, 1. What could this be? Alright, so the third one is the key, which is here. So that would be this one. So we get 1, 1, 0, 0. And you know what? I think I'm going to put a space in between, so I know that this is the top row, this is the bottom row, and you know, maybe I have to read this in a different order, but I doubt it. The last prism is this one here, which is here. So we have 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. Oh. Okay, I have a theory, but in order to verify that theory, I want to get all of the information. So here we have 0, 0, 1, 1, and then 1, 1, 1, 0. This one we don't know. For the stair, which I'm assuming is this one, it looks very much like the module, the stair. We have 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 0, 1, 1, 0. Let me quickly make sure. I looked at the wrong one. I'm glad I checked that. It's actually this one here. That should be 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay. So my theory was that because it says here my eyes are quickly dashing, um, oh, rapidly moving. I totally forgot about that. Oh, I see. Maybe that the reason it hints at rapid eye movement is just dream, because it gives you dream, and because the last module is dream cipher. Um, but anyway, so what I was gonna say is that because it says dashing, I was thinking that maybe these bits encode Morse code, but they don't, because uh, here you have four signals in a row. In Morse code it should be either one or three. But if we read this in columns, right, then you get 3 ones here, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 zeros. But then you get 2, so that also doesn't work. Okay, what happens if I just put these underneath each other, change all the zeros to that and all the ones to that? Does that look like anything? It does kind of, but not really at the same time. I noticed that if I were to put this in here, that seems to... Maybe I'm supposed to order these, to sort these in a specific order, and then, you could, for example, put... no, this doesn't quite... But you can see how you can manipulate this to create different shapes, But anyway, this is the original order. Okay, so what happens if I put them in the order, like in the arrangement that they are in the puzzle, which is that these are the top rows of each 4x2 box, and these are the bottom rows. So I'm only labeling them here so that I can place them here in the right place, and then see if that gives me something meaningful. Doesn't look like it. I don't know how to interpret this. Okay, so this puzzle was absolutely awesome up to this point, and now I'm stuck, and I hate being stuck. I really don't enjoy, staring at puzzles and not knowing what to do. Dream cipher, we don't know what that is yet. Okay. But there is something suspicious about the fact, because, these bits are obviously, oops, I'm using undo too much. These bits are obviously not random, right? Let me put these back. They do seem chosen to form a shape. But I don't know what shape. So another possible thought I had was that maybe I'm supposed to index into these actual words. But obviously, because this is 2, 4, 8, this number is greater than 32. So that's not gonna be it. Okay. Time for a hint, I guess. Let's see. The display on the module orients glyphs upright. The separator is smaller than... Yeah, that doesn't seem relevant. I still suspect that I need to do something with this. I suspect that I need to create an alphabet, and then each of those symbols is a letter. All right, let me read through these entire instructions. Proceed likewise for the next 4 bits in the string. So this assumes that I have this string, but that string would have only 16 bits, whereas we have way more than 16 bits. But let's see. Let x be the previous bit string. Shift x left by 1 plus the first digit in the serial number. That requires a serial number. Okay. The glyph alphabet cannot contain duplicate glyphs. If a glyph that has already been used is landed on, advance 1 additional glyph. Repeat the above operations until every letter in the English alphabet has been mapped to a glyph. Okay. Okay, so my suspicion definitely is that we're going to need to create such an alphabet, and then this will probably form a seven-letter word. I've only marked six things because, I don't know what the Shikaku decodes to. So, I'm actually going to pause the recording here and ask for a hint, and I will be right back. And we are back again, and the hint that I received, which is not a big hint, but it's do not interpret these as binary. They are another language that you've seen elsewhere. And I think I know what it is. But first, since it's not supposed to be binary, I'm gonna get. Well, actually, maybe I don't want to get rid of this, but I am definitely gonna get rid of this. Okay. So I think so. I thought, okay, what other languages do I know or like that I've seen before? And one thing that came to my mind is Braille, but then of course it can't be Braille because Braille requires 3 rows. But then I realized, wait, there is something kind of like Braille, which is also intended for blind people, and it's called New York Point, and that one has 4 by 2 dots. So I'm going to translate. I'm going to translate these binary codes according to this New York Point table, and see if I get a sensible English word out of that. Here we go. All right. Let's do this. Okay, so 0011, so that means the top right 2 are set in the top row, so that would be golf. Yep, that is definitely a golf. And then we have top left and the bottom right 3. That would be an echo. Oh, this is already forming a word. Oh, that's an alpha. Gear or something, 0 dot dot dot. That is a Romeo, it is gear. I'm going to guess gearbox. Okay, so here we are with the answer checker. I can just take the answer code that I got and put that in here, and I'm going to try gearbox. And that is not the right answer. Okay, so let's keep trying. 0011 in the top row. So that would be another golf. Gear something. Okay, 110. Oh, that's an A. Oh, I see. I could be wrong about the key, and it could be Georgia. Let's see if Georgia fits. Georgia. That is the right answer. So let me just very quickly check how I managed to mess this one up. I got the same as for the stair, so I probably just looked at the wrong. Let's see, the deep sleep is here, dream cypher is here. So the key is 2, 4, 5 in and 2 up. 2, 4, 5 in and okay, I wrote down this one, but it's actually this one. And if that is an O, then I'm satisfied, and indeed the O, no. That is also not an O. It's very strange right now. I thought I'd found my mistake. We have 4 dots in a row and then a dot sort of hanging off of it. So it's kind of like the delta, but mirrored. Okay, so this is very weird. Oh, they're kilo. Okay. Right, maybe oh, it's 5 across. Jesus. Oh, I am looking at the 5th column. Oh, but it's right, so it is this one. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to call that a bug in the module, a bug in the puzzle. And I'm going to report that to the creators. So expect an errata, but wait, it wasn't published yet, so it won't have an errata. But anyway, and here we are with a little addendum. You may remember that we never actually fully figured out Shikaku. We don't know how to do this. Well, given that we had New York Point, which is a relatively obscure encoding, and we also had Morse code and semaphore and everything, one other encoding that we haven't seen yet is tap code. So I'm going to see if I can decode this into a word by using tap code. AFLLMN OP, that would be a P. Alright, let's write that down here. P, and then A, B, C, D, E. So C and then an E. So that doesn't seem likely, but maybe we can still anagram this. AFLQ, so that's an R, and then AFG. No, AF. G. Yeah, it's definitely a G. So, it's not tap code. Or I made a mistake, that is always possible. And here we are with a little addendum. You may remember that we never actually figured out how Shikaku worked. Well, I got the solution from the author, so I did not figure this out myself. See, the thing is that the Shikaku manual, it has these shapes in it, but these shapes are technically actually characters in a font. If you go here and just turn off that rule, you will notice that they turn into letters. Alright, so if I refresh this page and I mark the ones that we had, try to remember the order in which they were. So now if I go back to here and turn that off, you will notice that, ooh, the order is actually different. Oh, okay, I see. It's probably reading order rather than clockwise order, because I marked them in clockwise order. But anyway, so the word is heart. And then in Dream Cipher, of course, the heart would be right here. 2, 4, 6, it's the sixth one, and then 2, 4, 6, that gives you 5 dots, and then back to encryption bingo, we have 5 dots right here, and that's in India. Okay, so that is the missing India for Georgia, and of course I've been assured that this is supposed to say Georgia, so that was actually a bug in the puzzle that's going to get fixed before publication. And this says heart. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Timwe Presents, and we solved the deep sleep puzzle from the KTANE Puzzle Plethora. I hope to see you again soon, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed this puzzle, because that was really, really enjoyable. And I will see you again next time here at Timwe Presents.